Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another podcast brought to you by Mina Cinema Forum. Today with us, we have Mr. Naaser Sawaf, who is the acting general manager of Novo Cinemas in UAE and Bahrain. Hi, Naaser, and welcome.
Hi, Leila. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time and being with us. And as always, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about your cinema, what you have done so far, especially in the last year or so during the pandemic, and the plans ahead. And if there's anything that you'd like to add, please feel free to do so because our audience are eager to hear from you.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm going to ask the first and the most obvious question that is asked of the cinema industry, which is how did the pandemic affect Novo Cinemas? And what were your key learnings from this period?
Well, like all businesses, we were affected with a lockdown of close to about 70 days. And being that given, we noticed a lot of lower spending capacity, and it became harder to instill that confidence for people to come back to the cinema as a safe and hygienic place. So what we did learn is we need to become a little more nimble with our offers, to be a little more pocket friendly, and to keep the customers informed about how safe it is to go to the cinema, what they can find, and also, what new content is coming out, because we did have a dry spell of new content when we first reopened.
And I'm glad that is changing. We can see new titles coming out almost weekly now. Some exciting blockbusters back in the cinema, and I've seen some really exciting offers from Novo lately in and about the city. I just heard about one offer you have for the kids that I'm very excited as a mother of two.
Awesome. Glad to hear that.
Thanks very much. So I guess we kind of have started on this. So what are your strategies as recovery and reopening has begun across the board, across all of the industries, but particularly for the cinema industry with the dry spell of the content coming to an end almost?
One of the main strategies being more customer-centric, focusing on what the customer is expecting, that overall experience, whether it being promoting new content or different experiences such as our 7-star or our kids screen, and also diversifying slightly with offering, that cinema experience at home through Talabat and hopefully other delivery partners in the future.
I think the Talabat delivery of the popcorn was an exciting one during the lockdown. So we would have family movie nights and actually order popcorn from Novo Cinemas, which made it a little bit more real, and we felt like we're doing something special. So thanks for that.
No, thank you for being a great customer.
Thank you very much. So the question that always is asked of us, especially from the suppliers and the public alike, is do you have any new projects coming up? So do you have expansion plans for new cinema sites or refurbishment or expansion plans of existing sites in UAE or elsewhere in the region? So what is on the horizon for you guys, Naaser?
So there's continuous talks going back and forth in regards to that, but it's still a little too early to discuss at this point.
Okay.
We do have, though, some renovations coming up, such as our Manara location in Ras Al Khaimah and Sahara in Sharjah. They'll be seeing a new facelift with some new experiences showing up there.
That's very, very exciting. So by the time that Meta Cinema rolls in late October, will you be in a position to disclose more information with the attendees of that event? Because we're expecting a full return of attendees of that event. So I'm sure they would like to know about some of the projects on the horizon. Is that a likely, occurrence that we'll hear a little bit more details?
I hope so.
Okay, well, I will remind you of that closer to date. So hopefully we can get some more info out of Novo about the exciting things that you have planned ahead.
Sounds like a plan.
Perfect. So again, I think you've kind of alluded to this, but if you can dive just a little bit deeper. So everyone wants to innovate and differentiate, and that's what cinemas have started doing. And you kind of touched base a little bit on some of the things you've done. But what are your planned USPs going forward? How are you going to really differentiate Novo and set yourselves apart from the competition?
So, part of it is also not just necessarily differentiating ourselves from the competition, but also offering something that maybe we weren't offering before, such as bank offers. We're rolling out new bank offers with different partners, giving us, let's say, more of a leveled playing field. But what we do want to stand out with is the overall experience you get. You know, nobody wants to go to a ultra corporate cinema where you're just another number, you're just another person. We want to have that personal touch that our employees will have with that customer, which is what we're working on with our new technology and new transformation, where you get that personal touch next time you come to know. It's your neighborhood cinema. You know, every customer is a customer that we care about, that they have a great time out. Again, it's all about being customer centric rather than how many people can I fit into this hall.
That sounds very, very exciting. I think customer centricity is kind of the key word here. So you mentioned the technology. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? What technologies have you deployed to create this kind of customer centric experience, this unique experience for your customers?
I can't elaborate too much on that yet, but if you stay in touch and watch our news feeds, you'll be seeing some exciting things that'll help us understand the customer more and help us curate more to an individual offering for each customer.
Okay, sounds very exciting. So we'll watch the space very attentively to see what is coming up from you guys on that end. So I guess I have kind of asked this question. You've answered that question about the products and services and partnerships. So you've talked about partnering with banks. You've talked about new technology that you're going to deploy for the customer journey. How about services? Are there any new services that you guys are looking to offer at the cinemas?
Are definitely being discussed. It's also looking at the best way to implement it. You know, we've seen a lot of cinema companies around implement new services, but not really that functional with the customer base. So it's in discussions, let's say. We want to make sure that when we do launch something, we can launch it pristinely, also keeping in line with the COVID guidelines. You know, everyone's safety is our number one priority still moving forward. Even as guidelines are being lifted, we want to make sure we go the extra mile so that people are comfortable coming back to our cinemas.
All very good points. And I mean, just gathering from the points, the little pointers that you've given us so far, there's a lot of amazing things that are kind of brewing in the background. And that, you know, in the next few months, I think we're going to see a lot of exciting new developments from Novo, if I can conclude that.
Yes, that is correct. You can conclude that.
Okay, fantastic. So we will watch the space. So I know that like every year, Novo is participating at the upcoming Meta Cinema Forum, and I believe that we will have you with us at the event. And we're very much looking forward to it and, you know, to getting the industry back together. Can you give us a little teaser about some of the talking points that you will bring with you during the event and what our audience should be expecting?
Well, honestly, let's leave that up to imagination. And as you'll be seeing some of the releases over the next month or so, we'll be elaborating more on that, on how we've used these new initiatives to overall elevate the customer experience, and also from a business aspect, which I'm sure a lot of people at Meta will be interested in seeing.
100%. I love this air of mystery, and I love that you've left it all to our imagination. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from Naaser. If you want to see what Novo has been up to, the only way to find out is to attend the event and ask the questions in person.
I look forward to it.
Likewise. Naaser, thank you so much for taking the time. I just want to, kind of give you the stage here to see if you have any parting remarks for our audience and any notes before we meet, inshallah, in October.
Inshallah. Well, number one, thank you for having me on the show and taking the time to sit with me. And what I would like to just remind all the listeners, be they customers or other businesses, don't forget it's different in the cinema. You know, 100%. Always experience the movies in the cinema. It is not comparable to anything else at home.
I could not agree with you more, Naaser, and I think all of our audience and whomever is engaged with the event feels just as strongly about that.
Awesome.
Thank you so very much for your time. I wish you a great day, and I look forward to meeting you in just 2 months.
Likewise.
Thanks, Naaser. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.